Hey, Fitheads. Today we talk with Corey Bellemore, the world record beer mile holder. And let me just say, the person that held the record before him was also him.
Hey, Allie, what's a beer mile?
It's when you drink one beer, run a quarter mile, and repeat that. So you've done it 4 times, drank 4 beers, and ran a full mile. And Corey has done that in 4 minutes, 32.95 seconds. And he dominated the race. Yeah, absolutely. And it's so awesome talking with him about it and his lack of training for it specifically and his chugging technique. And we talked about everything there is to talk about beer mile. And this was the greatest hour of Head's career.
It was fun because this felt like 2 sort of intersections. One is that like he never, like you said, not to spoil the episode, but he didn't like train to do this. He just happened to be really good at running and really good at chugging beers. He trained as a runner. He was like a cross country guy. He was training, but he wasn't training for beer mile specifically. These 2 things just sort of intersected in the most perfect way possible, which also, now that I'm thinking about it, mirrors us. We're like, oh, we want to talk to athletes and we want to ask them about drinking in their athletics. And then boop, 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 there's Corey. And it was all thanks to the Fitheads. You guys heard us gushing about booze and running, or booze and working out. Allie, you've done 100 beer miles so far.
Poorly now, I know, comparatively. But yeah, we had him on because one of the Fitheads tweeted at him, and now we had the perfect total Fitheads guest. So if you want to keep that going, let us know who else you want to see on the show. This was very successful.
Yeah. So thank you guys. We really appreciate it. We'd also appreciate, now that you're clicking away on your phone, why don't you head over to Apple Podcasts, rate this podcast
and
5 stars
review it
and write a written review. That helps the podcast out a lot.
Yeah. It's a super big help to reach more people, grow the Fitheads community. It'll only be more awesome for all of us. So if you can do that, because we always ask at the end of the episode, but wanted to hit you up top because for real, it makes a big difference. Thanks.
Yes.
Welcome to Total Fitheads.
Serious fitness for not so serious people.
Wait, did you just take a sip of beer?
It's not non-alcoholic beer, but yeah, it's a beer.
Oh no, we are jumping right in. I have a billion questions. Is this because you don't want to drink alcohol? Or are you training sans alcohol? Who drinks any beer?
It's because Athletic Brewing sponsors me, so I have a bunch of like non-alcoholic beer in the basement. And sometimes before bed, I just don't want to fuck with my sleep, so I'll stick to this.
Interesting. It's just liquid carbs without the party.
Don't worry. I drink actual beer too. Don't get me wrong. I just show love to all different types of beer.
What is going on in your nutrition that you just want to sit down and gulp all those carbs?
I mean, they promote it as it's all the goodness of beer, all the good things for you without like the alcohol to like affect your sleep or something. Because like honestly, I wear a Whoop bracelet, and if I sleep, my recovery's in the red. Like I sleep like shit.
Yeah.
So if I want like a beer and I'm craving a beer, then at least I still get a sound sleep. I don't fuck with my recovery. Like it does make sense in that sense, but.
Whoop has definitely convinced me to stop drinking. I mean,
yeah, every time I drink, it's like severely in the red, and it's just I have shit sleeps.
Right. Not that I actually have stopped drinking, but man, it is a very good argument.
When you have bad sleep, can you tell a difference in your training?
Oh, 100%. Okay. Yeah, you got to be on. Like, yeah. So if I'm trying to hit like 2 or 3 key workouts a week, those 2 or 3 key workouts, they're like, I need 100% for my body. So if I'm not sleeping well a couple of nights of the week, then I definitely feel it either in the recovery or the actual workout itself.
Yeah. I wonder about that because I've definitely felt crappy workouts and then, but then sometimes I don't know what to blame it on. And then I fall on like, oh, it's probably I didn't sleep at all last night, or I ate like a trash panda, you know what I mean? Like, but then I know that sometimes like I was doing certain trackers do certain things. And I know Alex talks about this a little bit. Like sometimes the fitness tracker will like inform your like mentally you're good. So you're going into it like, man, my sleep's crap. I hope I don't have a crappy workout. And then it sort of like bleeds into that. And sometimes I have like great workouts and I'm hungover like murder from the night before.
But you can only do that so often. I feel like your body's just in survival mode that you can just like, you can crush it once in a while, but like to do it all the time, it'll eventually catch up with you.
Yeah.
It's a good point. Don't consistently binge drink. You can pull it off maybe once in a while.
I mean, in university, I could do it whenever, but nowadays, I don't know what it is, but I can't do it the same way.
You think it's an age thing or you're just out of practice?
Are you over 18?
I think a bit of both. Yeah, I'm 26.
All right, interesting. So I'm guessing then you're not chugging and training. Because I just went into this assuming that every day you're doing beer miles trying to get better.
No, I train for me, it's just about getting like really good fitness. If I get really good fitness, my stomach usually doesn't fail me. I've never puked during a beer mile. So I don't lose the ability to like chug ever or keep it down. Like I just don't have an issue with that.
Does that mean you've never pushed hard enough?
Oh, trust me, I've pushed hard enough after a beer mile in the party afterwards, but the four beers themselves don't really faze me.
Let's take it back for a second.
Yeah.
Talk us through your introduction to the world of a beer mile. How about that?
Yeah. So I think it was in the 1980s the beer mile became a thing. Guys.
I thought you were going to say you became a thing.
26.
I was born in the 90s. Before I was
the idea of me.
I'm taking you way back to the start. So you guys, university in Canada, they like wanted to do something in the off season that was fun, competitive. So they decided to come up with a running and drinking like competition. So they decided on the beer mile. They like formalized some like rules and made it like a standardized thing. So the beer had to be 5% alcohol, had to be 355 milliliters, and then you had to run 4 laps to the back, drink 4 beers consecutively. So and not puke, yeah, or else you're doing a penalty lap or getting disqualified depending on the competition.
So that milliliters is what exactly? 12 ounces or 12 ounces ish? Okay,
12 ounces, yeah.
I think there's also another regulation where I don't know the exact, but you have a certain amount of space that you can chug. You can't chug and drink the whole lap.
So a mile is 1,609 meters. So you start back 9 meters from the start zone or the starting line, and that is your chug zone, they call it. So you have to stay within that zone when you're chugging the beer. You can't leave it until you're completely done with alcohol. So yeah, wow. It's pretty funny. Most of the time, you'll grab your beer at the start of the chug zone, you'll pop it off or twitch off, whatever. You'll chug it within that zone. You'll usually just keep walking, and by the time you get to the other side, you're done. You should be done your beer, and then you like dispose of it or put it in a bin or whatever else.
Yeah, you do that. I mean, of course, I watched your record, and there are people stopping and breathing and then chugging, which is definitely me when I've done these. But man, he just pours the whole thing while walking, and it's perfectly timed, just blowing everyone away. That's the secret, obviously.
Yeah, I just want to get it done as quick as I can because like people think I have fun during this. I do not have fun. It's not enjoyable. It sucks. It hurts a lot. It's super uncomfortable. But I just want to get it done as quick as I can. So as long as I keep moving and like don't take any breaks, I figure I'll go pretty fast.
Does it make a normal mile seem fun?
It makes it seem a little more enticing. Like a mile, regardless, going fast sucks. Like it hurts, but a sober mile is a lot easier.
Interesting.
So the beer mile is born, and then you're born, and then what happens?
So I get to university. Like I heard the beer mile before, like a little gist of it, but never tried it. Get to university, and it was like I think my second year. After our cross-country season, we were all still fit, so we wanted to try the beer mile, do something competitive. We'd have like a binge week, so we just like party, don't run, just like do whatever. And we tried it, and I ran like 5:30 something on my first one ever. And my teammates were like, dude, like I think you could actually like be pretty good at this if you actually went for it. And at that time, they were starting to have like world championships. They were starting to have actual events with prize money. So it wasn't until a few years later that I revisited it when the world record was like 4:47. I was like, I think I could actually beat this. So one of my friends like came over with a 6-pack, and I just finished dinner, just finished working for the day. And he's like, all right, dude, like, you're going to try this. We're going to film it. It's getting dark out. Like, you gotta get to the track now. So we went to the track, and we decided, like, if it went terribly, we'd never talk about it again. It was all over. If it went well, we would like put the video on YouTube and just run with it. So it ended up going well. I think I ran like 4:39. So beat the world record by like 8 seconds at the time. And
after having eaten after too, that, like, what the heck?
Oh, it was a rough day. Like, I felt like shit, but like it somehow went really well.
Wow, I've also seen that one. So what happened after that?
Yeah. So honestly, that was the craziest like 3 days after of my life. Like, I woke up the next morning to work. I was working the kids camp for track and field, and I was on my phone the whole time because I was just getting messages like there's a Sports Illustrated wanted to talk, a bunch of people wanted to talk, and I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, I've never got this much attention from track and field, but like I do the beer mile once and I just get all this attention. I was just like super backwards. Anyways, they're having a beer mile World Classic event in England that weekend, and I had no idea about it. Like, I didn't do the beer mile to do that event. It just happened to work out that way, and they flew me out that night to England. Went to England for 50 hours, broke the world record again, won that event, and then flew home. And it was just, it was crazy.
You didn't choose the beer mile. The beer mile chose you.
The beer mile chose me, and the friend that came over with the 6-pack was the one that peer pressured me to do it. So I owe it to them.
That's so funny. And how does it feel that, I mean, is it frustrating that that's what got you the attention when you've been working so hard at actual running for so long?
At first, I was a little bitter about it. I was like, it's sort of like a parody towards my actual like track and field training. But at the same time, it was like, it was sort of good for me, good for like the sport, good for my brand. Like, it only helped me. So I could never be like bitter for a long period. I just had to have fun with it and keep doing these competitions as long as my schedule allowed for it.
Well, I just want to say that I respect you as an athlete. On to more beer mile questions.
Keep going. I'm ready for them. I'm prepared.
Go ahead, Max.
How fast is your regular mile?
My regular mile personal best is 3:57. I've run that a few times.
Not that I've done the math on this, but that means he's chugging 4 beers in 36 seconds.
Approximately, yes.
I mean, obviously the beer in your stomach is slowing you down a bit.
Yeah, I think it's like 4 pounds of beer in your stomach approximately by the end of it. So
I don't want to know that. Come on. I've also done beer. I don't need that. Yeah,
it's very uncomfortable. And like, I think Bleacher Report, they quoted me on one of their articles. Like, it said like, you have to get the burps out, but the burps can't be too deep or you'll puke. And like, 100% that quote is super accurate because like you do have to, as soon as you chug, you just have tons of carbonation built up, and like the key to not puking is getting that carbonation out and like burping it out. So you got to force these burps as soon as you start running every lap. So like TSN did a documentary on it, and like they mic'd me up for the beer mile event, and all you hear at the start of every lap is me just like me burping very hard at the start of every lap. It's comical, but you have to do it.
That's gonna be so painful. Well, I think a part of the sloshing probably helps that, right? And if you're just sitting and drinking beers, it'll take a while for that to get out of you. But when you're shaking it up, it's immediately ejecting from your mouth.
Yeah, I mean, it runs through your body super quick. So as long as you're doing what you can do to handle it, like getting the burps out, like focusing on your breathing when you're coming in for laps and about to chug, and then honestly, just like, not like you have to force it down. So if you don't listen to your mental and you literally just grab the beer, don't take a break and just force it down, even though you're out of breath, that you're going to do all right. Like, you just got to tell yourself, like, you're not going to puke.
It's inspirational for working out and for partying.
Yeah. If you guys ever need a party, like pep talk, I'll do some damage there.
Just don't think about breathing and go.
Have you tried cans? Or is there a big difference cans and bottles? I guess pint glasses, now that I think about it.
I think that's a part of the regulations. I thought it had to be bottles.
Yeah, it has to be unopened bottles or cans. You can use cans, but cans are a lot slower. Just like the neck of a bottle just goes a lot smoother out. Like it just flows a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the can, it can bottle up and bubble up, and it doesn't float as easy.
And you can't shotgun. You can't let air come in. Otherwise, you'd smash your own record.
If you could shotgun, I would look like a frat boy, and I would crush every can in about 2 seconds or a second.
Yeah, but some people shotgun and they spill like half of it. You know what I mean? They're just like.
I feel personally attacked. Hey.
Yeah, some people on this Zoom call.
Let's not.
I know a few of those people.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, that's a part of it too. If there is too much foam at the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is the measurement there that because they grab your bottles and check to make sure that they're done ish?
Yeah, that's a bit of a soft spot for me. I mean, I got DQ'd one race because I was just trying to like hammer, and I was running really quick, but I was just rushing my beers. So like there was a bit of foam in every single glass that I had, and they measured at the end. You're allowed 4 ounces in total, and I had like 4, like just over 4. So I mean, at the end of every bottle. What's that? I wish I could drink it then.
Yeah, can you drink it at the end? And like, whatever, dude, I'm done. Boom, done.
Nah, like, unfortunately, the regulations, they're like pretty strict on it. Like, these guys are they have it down to like a very strict competition.
I guess it feels so informal, but it's such a informal, formal event, sport, whatever, anyway, that I kind of understand them being sticklers for the rules.
Yeah. Especially at the elite level.
It's hilarious when they bring it together. Like we look like professional, like the way it's like produced, the way it's set up, whatever. We look like professional athletes. Like everyone is a good runner, to be honest. And like these guys aren't like degenerates. They're not like frat boys. They're like, they can obviously drink and they can run, but some of these guys are like lawyers. Some of them are financial advisors. Some of them are doctors. Like there's pretty well-rounded people that do the beer mile. So it's cool to bring everyone together and just see what the background is and see everyone compete together. Like there's 50-year-olds that do it. There's me that's 26. Like it's all ages. It's crazy.
That's cool. So are you friends with a lot of these people now through the beer mile?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it since 2016, and I've seen like a lot of the same faces. So honestly, when we get together for like a world championship or whatnot, it's just like there's people from Norway, Australia, Sweden, Germany, like you name it, there's like countries represented. So it's like it's a big party when you come together and you do this event. And then like, I mean, some people booze the whole week. Some people literally booze the whole week. Other people actually some people do take it a little more serious and just like party afterwards. But either way, it's just a fun weekend.
And I mean, are there people that seriously train for it? Because I think it's pretty clear that you don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some people that literally go to practice with like either non-alcoholic beers or alcoholic beers, and they'll just do them in between reps or like master their chugging technique. Yeah, a lot of people do a lot of practice in that sense.
And you're not doing any of that?
Nothing. I mean, all right.
Well, let's talk about your chugging technique.
Really quick, the closest thing I do to practice is if I go to a bar like with a group of friends and someone recognizes me, like you're that beer mile guy. Like I want to chug against you. Or like I go to a wedding and someone hears about the beer mile and they're like, oh, I think I could beat you. I want to go against you. So obviously I'm not going to turn down a competition. So sometimes it does get me in trouble, but that's as far as my training goes.
That's amazing. That's like so those old, those old wrestling titles where the guy would have the belt and it would be the belt where like anytime at any place you could challenge him. That's you.
Oh, that's 100% it. It's comical. I have a bunch of videos on my phone of people just like random people at the bar that just want to challenge me. And it just,
and then just for the record, you're doing the drink and the run, right?
Oh, I'm not doing any running at the bar.
Oh, okay.
If you're ever in LA, you're going down.
Against you?
Yeah.
Oh, can you chug?
No, I'm just overconfident.
Okay. I like that. You got to tell your stuff, you're going to be all right. You can chug really well. You're not going to puke.
Oh, no. No, I do it with cans. I'm not even that serious. And I may or may not dump some out. Look, whatever. What I'm saying is you're challenged.
All right. I'm down. I'm game.
Wow. Okay. So You didn't answer the chugging. What is your technique? Natural born star.
So during the beer mile, I do run with an opener the whole time. I showed up to a competition in Austin, Texas one time, and I realized my bottles were pop top. I didn't have an opener, so I went to the store, grabbed an opener, ran with it the whole race, and then that became my thing the next little while. So now I
added weight. That's going to slow you down.
It's smooth. I like it. It's like a baton. I used to run relay back in the day, so I love it.
Pass the baton to yourself.
Grab the beer, pop the top off, and then I make sure I get it just over like 90 degrees. So it's just starting to come out. And then as I'm like chugging from it, it's coming out. I tilt it up more and more. And then as it gets to the end, I like, and it's in the neck of the bottle, then I like tilt completely up just to make sure the end is done. But it takes me roughly, I want to say like 5 seconds of beer or so.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
So you're moving the bottle, not your head and neck.
Yeah. And I always have a gap too. So I always have a gap for my, like, I don't close my lips on the bottle. I always make sure there's air flowing in so it can pull it out. So it sits on my bottom lip, and then there is still air flowing in through the top.
Mm-hmm.
So it's never like, the liquid is never completely like, it is weird. It's weird to talk about, but
what do you mean? It's not weird. We asked you.
Yeah. I'm laughing at Max because he's taking notes for everybody who's not watching visually.
I got to see you guys talk by the end of this podcast, I think. I don't know if you're prepared to, but I feel like I got to see it.
I got a bar right here in my gym. So yeah, let's do it.
Oh, damn.
And a mini fridge over there.
Unreal.
But actually, that's interesting. Have you tried, is there any difference in time with alcoholic versus non-alcoholic?
I have never done a beer mile with non-alcoholic, but I am doing one October 18th in Connecticut.
Plug it.
Athletic Brewing is hosting it. So that'll be my first time doing non-alcoholic. And I mean, I think the carbonation is going to be the biggest thing. Like, I think it's still there in an NA beer. So I don't think it'll be much different.
Have you tried like soda or like, have you tried like a Sprite? I think
that would be worse, to be honest.
Yes.
Like, I think it would burn more. Like, yeah, I don't know.
I did it with Taco Bell once.
Oh, yeah. What? I don't know about that.
No, I did a taco mile. Yeah. I mean, you just replace each beer with a taco instead.
I thought you meant like the Sprite from a Taco Bell.
Oh, no, it's not a beverage.
One of those things.
Wait, does Athletic Brewing Company make something that's similar to a domestic light? Because I feel like you're probably going to have a craft taste in beer, and that'll be tougher.
They have I think it's Upside Down is what it's called. It's like just like a standard, pretty easy beer.
Lager, okay.
But yeah, they have some good beers. Like they have like Big Wild Run Wild is my favorite. It's like an IPA. Like it tastes like good beer, to be honest. I'm not just like plugging them. Like I actually do like to taste them, and I drank them before I got signed by them. But
yeah, but the name
so
Run Wild that's the one you like, really?
It really, they're named Athletic Brewing, so all their things are like.
Yeah, well, do you like the swimming one?
There's not a swimming one, but I mean, this one I'm drinking is Cerveza Atletica.
Athletic.
They're all athletic inspired.
I love it.
Yeah.
Wait, what about a swimming beer mile? What's the conversion of 1 mile to 1 mile in the water?
It'd be roughly 400 meters of swimming.
Okay, so 100 meters per beer. Easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Max and I had done a rowing beer mile, and we replaced the rowing with 500 meters of, or the running with 500 meters of rowing.
How was that?
Not great.
Sloshy.
But yeah, it was a lot of like we condensed our, you know what I mean? When you're rowing, you're like sort of squishing together a lot more than you.
Did you guys puke, or were you guys okay?
No puke, but.
No. But neither my chugging nor my rowing was elite level. Just say we took it easy.
So all of it was hard. It was very difficult.
I mean, I haven't done it again. And I'm not planning on doing it.
You don't want to do a beer mile or anything like beer and athletic related after you do one.
Yeah. Yeah. Every time on my 4th lap, I say to myself, remember how this feels, because you forget and then you do it again.
I don't know about you guys, but that third beer, every time I get tingly a bit. I don't know if it's like from running really hard or if like somehow the alcohol is kicking in already, but I always grab that like third beer and I just don't want to do it anymore. Like I'm just tingling, I'm sweaty, like I'm tired. I don't know.
You're holding your breath while chugging. That has a big effect too.
Yeah.
Have you ever blown your blood alcohol content when finishing?
No, but I'd be curious, like that'd be interesting to find out.
All right, next one you run, I'm bringing you one. Yeah.
We'll send you one. We know a guy. We know a guy who sells those things. We'll send you one.
Track.
Did you guys check your blood alcohol after?
I have, and it's embarrassingly high. But I am also a lightweight, and I don't have a huge dinner before like you.
She's a lightweight in stature and a lightweight in drinking, so I wouldn't, take it with a grain of salt, which is exactly the size of Allie.
And I think I've also technically never done a real beer mile because I always do a domestic light, and it's under 5%.
Yeah, you're cheating yourself there.
You're cheating
yourself. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know what to say about that. But.
I'm sorry. No, wait. I did it once with 9%. So there.
Oh, okay.
That made up for the rest of them.
That evens out a bit.
Yeah. What is your go-to beer when you're competing?
So I have a beer sponsor. So I have my non-alcoholic beer sponsor, which is Athletic Brewing, but I have a beer sponsor, which is a Canadian beer company. It's called Flying Monkeys. So they have an amber ale I was using for a while, but I believe they discontinue it. So they make like a specialty beer mile beer for me every year when I compete, and they
cool.
Create the labels and stuff. It's pretty sweet.
How cool!
Yeah, it's awesome. So it's 5%. It's 355 mils, and it's just a light, easy lager.
Session beer.
Yeah, exactly. Good session beer. I don't even know the taste of it, to be honest, because I've only chugged it, but I think it's
like you give a dog a treat and you're like, did you even taste that?
No, just inhaled it.
Wow, that's really funny. So, well, I assume that you're less of a lightweight than me. Afterward, do you feel drunk at all, or do you not know because you just go to the after party and actually get drunk?
Usually afterwards we'll do like a little cool down after the competition. We treat it like an actual like racing event, so we'll cool down, and then on the cool down you're starting to feel like a little giggly, a little excited, and then once we go to the after party, it's just it's game on. Like it sometimes gets pretty sloppy because when you bring a bunch of beer miles together and everyone can chug, everyone has an ego that they can chug better than someone else. So
I didn't even think about that.
I mean, when we were in Berlin a couple of years ago, we got these like absolutely humongous fishbowl beers. I don't even know how many beers. There had been like five beers in it, and like guys wanted to chug off and see who could win the fishbowl chugging competition. So you can imagine how the night got after that, after doing a beer mile previous to that. But
wow.
all in all, it's a good time. It can get a little sloppy.
Yeah, you said, well, at the race, it's pretty professional. What is the crowd like, though?
The crowd is usually they're having a good time. Like they're usually pretty boozed up themselves, just partying, just enjoying the event. And usually there is like free beer at these events or like a beer fest type atmosphere. So I think everyone just has a good time, and we're sort of the entertainment. We're like the halftime show of it.
The halftime show is more chugging.
Wow. Actually, when I did the world record, the world record right now is at the halftime of a semi-pro soccer game. So it was like a sold out crowd. It was in San Francisco. It was at Kezar Stadium. Like the 49ers used to play there way, way back in the day. And it was a pretty cool atmosphere. I mean, it was weird, to be honest. I had to do a victory lap at the end, and I'm slapping kittans, like 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds kids, and their parents were just sitting in the crowd, like shaking their head at me. But all these kids here is like, he just got a world record, and they don't.
Sorry, I'm a world record holder.
So yeah, I mean, it's jokes, but the crowd's always having a good time.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's fun.
I know you've never puked because you're the freaking golden god of chugging. Have you seen other people at world competitions, or is this elite level non-pukage?
too many times. Like, I mean,
really?
Well, yeah, I mean, like the stomach can be unpredictable. As good as a stomach as you think you have, like, and as many times like as I've done it and haven't puked. I mean, it could be that one day I ate something wrong or something's weird with my stomach, or a burp came out a little weird and like I could puke. So it's just the nature of the beer mile is just, you never really know. Like, anything can happen. Anyone can win on any given day. And I've seen a lot of like projectile pukes. Like, in fact, my brother and a friend wanted to do it one night. They were just crap talking to each other. They're like, "Oh, I could beat you. I could beat you." So we went to the track at night, and like, my friend literally held this puke until he got to the finish line. And as soon as he crossed, just like, yeah, it just went everywhere. It was not a pretty sight, but as long as you hold it till the very end, you're clear. You're good to go.
So that there's not some sort of period after where you still need to keep it down?
Nah, as long as you're done the race, you're
oh, wow.
Game on. Yeah. If you got to puke, you do your thing.
You go for it. Wow.
It's like a championship level of play there to hold your own puke. My God.
Oh yeah, you gotta be pretty committed, pretty dedicated.
So after you finish, you're not puking. After you finish a regular mile, an average person would want electrolytes or a banana. What do you want after a beer mile?
It's gonna say more beers.
Yeah,
finish that foam.
It's like a pretty good pregame. So usually I just like I'm ready to go after that, ready to have some fun. It's usually a time in the season for my track and field training that like it's pretty fun at that end of the season. So like usually I do want to just have a little fun, let loose a bit.
Well, should we talk about your sober training now, or
whatever you guys want to ask about? If you're having more fun with the beer mile, I mean, let's keep doing it.
Okay, one more thing for our aspiring beer mile listeners. You know, that kid that just really wants to be you when he grows up. What do you suggest he works on
to get as athletic as you can? Be as athletic as you can, and if somehow you're good at the beer mile, run with it. I don't know what else to say. Just be a good athlete first. If something else comes along with some other type of fun, some alcohol involved, I don't know, have fun with it.
Get lucky, kid.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's fair.
Put one foot in front of the other. Just stay on your path.
Be Canadian too. That helps because it was invented there, and obviously you have a leg up.
Yeah, I mean, it's somehow a Canadian thing, and I don't get it, but I mean, it's cool. Like the other day, I saw someone I know a bunch of truckers in the area because like my job, I was working with a bunch of truckers, and at a tomato plant they canned tomatoes, and the one trucker came up to me the other day and he's like, "Man, you are a fucking Canadian hero, man." Like he was just like he
started tearing up.
Yeah,
that's so cool. Oh, I love it.
Now ever since he found out about it, he just like he's proud. He's like, "I told my buddies about you yesterday. Like they're proud of you too." And I'm like, "Thanks, man. I appreciate it."
Salute.
Okay, fine. Moving on. When is your next athletic competition? Start with beer mile first.
So the next, I have the non-alcoholic beer mile on October 18th, but then there's a World Classic this year. COVID postponed it last year, but there's one in Manchester, England this year. I believe it's on October 22nd. So as long as I'm able to travel there and not have to quarantine to Manchester, England, then I'll do that as well. And then aside from that, I'll probably do Canadian Nationals for cross country, which will be end of November. And then other than that, I'll do some indoor races throughout the winter, but those are my for sure dates right now.
Cross country, that's what, like 3 beer miles minus the beer?
It's a lot more than that. It's 10 kilometers running.
Oh, wow.
Actually, side note, there have been people that have done like half marathon beer runs, like where they do every mile they'll do like a beer, so it's ends up being 13.1 miles, and then they consume 13 beers, which is insane.
Oh my God.
But, yeah, there's people that have done that.
I would actually die. That would be
I don't think I'd survive, or I don't think I'd enjoy running after that ever again.
So you've not done that. Have you done any other mixing alcohol and athleticism?
Nah, I've joked around about doing the beer 2 mile. which is just obviously double everything.
That's for 8 pounds of beer. I just learned that from my friend Corey.
Because I do think I could get the world record in that, but I think at some point it starts becoming excessive, and I just don't know if I want to go down that road.
I can't believe there is a world record in that someone is keeping track and allowing humans to do it.
Mm-hmm. And the guy who has the world record, he did not puke during it, which is insane. It's just.
Well, yeah. I mean, at that point, maybe you're better off puking and then taking the lap.
Mm-hmm. I mean, a couple years ago when we were in Berlin in 2019 for the World Championships, there was guys after the beer mile who like a couple days later wanted to try the 2 mile, and I don't think I've seen that many pukes in that short of time ever in my life. Like, it was disgusting.
What a sentence!
Yeah, that track was littered with like puke all over it.
Oh, good Lord.
So after I saw that, yeah, it turned me off towards wanting to try it.
Do you think that you'll ever break your own record?
Yeah, I definitely do. Yeah.
You've held it for a while now, right?
Yeah, and I just haven't done like a lot of them since. I only do them like once a year at the World Classic or whatnot. But like I've only gotten in better shape track-wise since. So I think it'd just be the right competition, right time to break it again.
And like I mentioned, you smashed everyone. This is kind of crappy, but do you think if the beer mile was more accepted, that you would have more competition, that there are people out there like you that are just undiscovered beer milers? No. I
mean, I'm sure there are, but I don't think, honestly, I don't know. I'm not cocky at all in life, but like towards the beer mile, I will be cocky because not many people have come even remotely close. So I'd be willing to put up my own money to like go against anyone.
Born to do it. I love it.
Called out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, tell us about your actual athletic goals then. That's the fact that you were not trying on the beer mile.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the last couple of years I've been plagued by injury a little bit, on and off, a lot of stress fractures. So it's been a battle. Obviously, I wanted to make a big push towards Tokyo, but I just couldn't get there in time, and it was very, very frustrating. But I mean, over the next couple of years, there's only 3 years till Paris, so that's the next Olympics, and I want to do everything in my power to be at those games. So I'm still 26. Like usually, they say as a track athlete, your late 20s are your best years. So honestly, that's my biggest goal moving forward.
Talk us through a week of training, or what are your training cycles look like?
Yeah, I mean, Monday, Wednesday, usually we'll hit so I'll double 5 times a week, which means I'll do some sort of shakeout run in the morning, and then later in the evening I'll do either a workout or another run. So Monday I'll double, I'll do a workout in the evening. Tuesday I'll double. I'll do some weights that day, usually in the evening as well. Wednesday I'll do the same thing I did Monday. Thursday I'll do the same thing I did Tuesday. Friday will be only a single run, and then Saturday usually
rest day.
Pretty yeah, essentially an easy rest.
Lazy.
Saturday usually we'll hit a double as well, a hard workout and weights after, and then Sunday is a long run. Usually anywhere from 13 to 16 miles.
Wait, I was joking. You actually don't have a day where you do nothing?
Once in a while, like I don't know, maybe every 3 weeks.
When's the last time you had one?
I was sick last week, so I had a couple off days then. But usually, I'll just listen to my body. If my body needs one, I won't be shy to take one. Just because, I mean, I've been greedy before and I've got injured, so now I know if my body's asking for a rest day, I'm gonna give it to it.
And do you feel you're tuned in to your body telling you, or are you also looking at devices?
Yeah, I'm looking at my Whoop quite often, obviously. So just tracking sleep, recovery, and stuff like that. But usually my body, like if something's hurting and I'm really run down, like I know just because I won't have the energy or motivation to run. And like usually I'm like super motivated, super ready to go always. So if I'm not feeling it, then I know something's a little off.
What would you say is? It's kind of a weird question. What is the best thing you can do to get better at running other than running?
I think
other than chugging, excuse me, and chugging.
To get better, I mean, like cross training of any sort, like any type of cardio cross training. So like I implement like swimming a lot and biking a lot in my program, and still do a little bit. But any type of like high end cardio is really good. Like even rowing would be really good. Just anything to get the heart rate up and keep it there. But I think strength training is super underrated. Just to become a better runner, to not get injured, to have more power in your stride. But yeah, definitely like the cardio aspect is the most important, I would say.
What about stretching? Do you stretch? I mean, are you one of those like, here's my leg, or are you just like, okay, here we go, I'm warm, let's go?
Usually I'll do like dynamic stretching before I do a workout. So it's more like just moving around, doing drills, doing stretching while I'm moving, like swing, stuff like that. And then after run, sometimes I'll stretch a little bit, but I like to like roll out and do more stuff like that instead of just sitting there stretching all the time. Or I'll do dedicated yoga days. So I'd rather do that stuff than just like mindlessly stretch sometimes.
Yoga, yikes. What is in your headphones when you're running?
I like some explicit hip hop. I really do. I appreciate some good hip hop. I also do like some chill house music depending on like the vibe I'm feeling that day. Sometimes when I'm out on the bike or something, I'll put on like just some progressive house music, which I don't think about any words or anything. I'm just listening to music and like just the rhythm of it.
Plus, those are nice because they're like 3-hour long songs. Whereas stuff you're doing, your playlist must be like 60, 70 songs.
Yeah, it's quite heavy. I have a bunch of different playlists, but they're all like I gotta cut some songs out. I think some of them are like thousands of songs right now, but
okay, 2 a day. Then what the crap are you eating? Are you eating while you're running? Oh, right. You're drinking while you're running.
New event, steak dinner, steak dinner mile.
I would actually enjoy that. Actually, not because it would turn me off towards the steak. I love steak a lot, so I don't anything I gotta force like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do eat quite a bit, to be honest. I just like before practice, after practice, like for sure 3 meals a day. Sometimes like 4, but just snacking all the time. I literally can't stop eating when I'm like full in training.
And are you tracking closely calories or macros or just clean or whatever you want?
I've been down that road. I used to like track pretty heavily and I got a little consumed with that. Like I had this period of time where like I was racing like a lot of Kenyan athletes and like I was the biggest guy on the starting line. And like there's a lot of professional runners that are like, man, if you were just a bit smaller, I think you could be faster. And I just bought into that a bit. So I went down a road where like I wasn't eating a lot. I wasn't feeling properly. I was trying to be leaner. Like it wasn't good for me. So nowadays, if my body is craving something, needs some salt, needs something junky, I'll eat that junk every so often, just because I think it's good to. I think your body needs it, to be honest. Like you got to make up for the calories at some point. So if you're having a little bit of junk here and there, I don't really sweat it much. Yeah,
and your body needs it, and probably your mentally you probably need it too. I mean, dieting like that or being too tough, I've dealt with that a little bit, and it's like draining, and you're just like tired, and you're like, what am I doing? I don't like this anymore. It's like steals the joy out of it. But also it's good that you're saying, so for the record, don't tell runners and don't tell just women in general they should be leaner or like maybe like lose 10 pounds. You should probably not tell that to anybody.
Yeah, I mean, not coaches or other athletes or anyone. Like maybe if you're with a health professional that like, I don't know, an actual registered dietitian or something, and you go to them and you're like, I want to, or maybe you talk with them and they say like, here's a number I think that would be attainable. Like, what do you think about it? And you have a healthy conversation that way, and they help like give you a plan instead of you trying to take everything on your own. I think that'd be a bit better. But yeah, just the unsolicited like advice to lose pounds just to be faster, I don't think that's not needed at all. Yeah.
Have you found a lot of unsolicited advice online now that you've got this beer mile fame?
Yeah, I mean, just people think they know you just because there's a bit of information about you out there. So like some people think I'm like this hardcore frat boy that just drinks all the time, or some people think like I don't take running seriously anymore because I'm this beer mile guy. And it's just like, you don't know who I am at all, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like a chill dude. I'm lighthearted. Like, I like to have fun, obviously, but I'm pretty serious. I work really hard. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of those people that just say a lot of opinionated stuff, but it's all good.
Do they ever offer you actual advice? And you're like, I just set the world record.
It's more or less these hardcore beer drinkers that like, they hear beer mile and they're like, oh, 4 beers, I could destroy. Like, you think you're a beer drinker? I could destroy you. I'm like, dude, you have no idea.
Yeah. Did you try swirling the bottle?
Yeah, the torpedo. Did you try the torpedo? Oh my God. I can get it down quicker just by opening it and pouring it down my throat. I don't do this fancy stuff.
Yeah.
Have you seen anybody actually do that in the beer mile?
No, I've seen videos like that online, and like, it is pretty funny because a lot of friends or like random people like tag me on like art school videos of guys chugging at like a random bar or something. And like, honestly, a lot of these guys I could actually like destroy, but like, I don't post videos like that. I don't need to post videos like that, but I think I could do quite a lot of damage if I wanted to like make money and just like hustle people at a bar.
The Happy Gilmore. As long as we're all spilling our own secrets, I follow a guy on TikTok and all he does is chug.
Oh, damn.
Anything. And it's the most stupid thing. And I watch every single video. So if you're ever, bored one night and want to start a new TikTok career, there's avenues available for you. I'm just
so what's there's a market for it, is what you're saying.
Yep.
Yeah, but he's doing like orange soda, and well, the comments for him are like, bro, you can't do orange soda, and he's like, okay, boom, and they're like, bro, you can't do Sprite from McDonald's, and he's like, what the okay, boom, and it's bizarre.
That is pretty comical. Yeah, I don't know the pop stuff. I give people props that can chug pop. I don't know if I can do that well.
Yeah, no thanks.
Well, we'd thank you. That's very nice of you. We'd also like to give you props for setting a world record at chugging beers and running a mile.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I would follow you on TikTok. Just saying. If you.
Hey, you know what? So if I can guarantee 2 followers, maybe I'll start this thing.
That's an easy 2. I'm in.
And all of the fit heads, they're definitely on board.
Yeah, if I can get 2 or 3 fit heads as well. I mean, that's an audience.
Yes. All right, we talked about Whoop. Do you use anything else to track?
Just Whoop, yeah. But I did hear they came with a new band, so I'm interested to try that. I don't know if you've seen like the 4.0. Do you guys both use Whoop? Yeah,
and it's on its way to me right now, though. So we'll see.
Nice, that's sweet.
I don't do anything. I don't track anything. I was saying earlier that they were telling me I was feeling a way, and it was making me feel that way. And so then I'm like, wait a minute, I feel great. Or like, wow, the thing telling me I feel great and I feel terrible. Like, I don't know. It never felt like it got me right or whatever. And then I got into my own head about, is this a placebo? Am I making my own? You know what I mean? How much of it is mental? And then, so now I'm just flying blind.
Yeah, I can understand that. Sometimes too many numbers, like you seeing all these, like all these things coming up, it's like, it can play into your head a bit. And like, even right now, since I'm working like 7 days a week right now, waking up at 5:30, I haven't worn my Whoop just because I don't really want to see it. Like, I don't know if my sleeps are always the best, but I just want to like focus on how I'm feeling that day. After I'm done this job that's busy right now, then I'll start wearing it again. But right now, I can't do it.
Dang, that sounds so healthy. Look at you being well balanced. I imagine your strain score is insane. You're just getting 21s every day.
I mean, I think mine's insane, but so I'm really good friends with a professional triathlete. He's a professional Ironman athlete, and I hang out with him quite a bit, and like, he makes me feel lazy. So his strain score is insane every day. Like, if I went to check it right now, it's probably like stupid. Like, I will literally check it right now. But anyways, he makes me feel lazy when I'm with him, just because like I'm training a lot and he's training for an 8-hour discipline. So it's like,
yeah, that's insane.
It's a full-time job of training every day.
Yeah, but it's a full-time job, but recovering too. I don't know how you do it so quickly.
I have no idea. Like, let's see. I guess he only swam today. His strength score was only 13.4. But
only that's my record. 13.1 is my record.
Is damn. Yeah. But
here's mine right now. 0.
Usually his is insane though.
Wow.
Like, monthly 19.4 is his monthly of September.
Yes.
But yeah, usually I want to say it's like in the 20s, to be honest.
It seems like Whoop was made for people like you and him.
I mean, he's sponsored by them, so like they have a good relationship, and yeah, I think it's definitely made for more in like endurance athletes or people that just are obsessed with certain numbers.
All right, we have one question that we ask everyone, but it's Max, explain.
The question that we ask everyone is, how do you incorporate alcohol into your training?
Well, I mean,
so we basically question everyone about beer miles in every episode up until this 80th one. And now we have you. I think we're just done podcasting at this point.
This is the pinnacle.
This is the pinnacle. Yeah. It seems like you should retire on top, like after this one. But I think like I like to celebrate. So at the end of the season or after a good workout or something, like I like to sit down. I think it's good for the mental to like have a beer, go with friends once in a while. Like I think it's good to let loose every so often. There's a time to be serious, obviously, but there's a time to just enjoy life and not really think much about your recovery or like, I don't know, anything like that. Not think about athletics, just think about like where you are, what you're doing, and who you're with.
I love it. Once again, sounding so well balanced. From such a frat boy too, man.
Oh man, yeah, I know. Trust me, I'm just putting on this face right now. I'm actually like, I don't talk like this at all usually.
I'm actually a squirrel.
All right, cool. Hey, wait, where can the fit heads find you and then give you unsolicited advice online?
Yeah, I mean, like everyone else, you can DM me, you can do whatever, but you can find me at Corey Bellemore on Instagram.com. Or sorry, yeah, just on Instagram, and then at Corey Bellemore on Twitter as well.
Sweet. Well,
and
thank
maybe
you
on TikTok.
And soon on TikTok.
Yeah, that's right.
Can't wait. I can't wait to say it's fake. He faked it. He did it in After Effects. There's no way he drank that fast. He sped up the footage.
Yeah, there's not actually beer in that bottle. There's something else. There's water.
He's on the moon. Can't you guys tell? It's obvious.
Wait, wouldn't that be harder because there's less gravity? What do you?
It's just jumping. I don't know. Oh, the chugging. Yeah, the chugging would be really hard.
Yeah, I mean, if NASA flew me out, I would do a beer mile on
Let's make this happen. Campaign for a world record. No, it wouldn't be the world record. It would be the moon record beer mile. But you gotta let me run first because I want to hold it, so then you can smash it,
and then I can break it. So yeah, our names would both technically be on the record board. I'm about it.
All right, this has been awesome. Thanks so much for talking with us.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me, guys. It was nice meeting you guys. Nice chatting with you, and yeah, I'm pumped to hear this one come out.
See you on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, see you on TikTok.
And thank you to the fit heads. We love it when you rate and review. It's super helpful for our podcast. So if you can, please hit us up on Apple Podcasts, and we will see you next week.